Welcome to the LoveChologist Talk Show, hosted by LaTonya MeChelle, a show dedicated to exploring the intricate world of love, relationships, singlehood, and sex. So grab your favorite drink and get ready to dive deep into authentic conversations that will challenge your thoughts and stir your emotions. Join our host and her special guests as we navigate the complexities of human connection with honesty and humor. Ladies and gentlemen, LaTonya MeChelle.
Welcome to the LoveChologist Talk Show. Listen, y'all know I've been doing talk shows for a while and everything, and I've had quite a few. Sat down with my team and was like, yo, I'm tired of all these shows. Let's just put them all together. Let's put City Singles together. Let's put Love and Happiness. Let's put Dear Black Men, all of them. And let's just bring people in and let's have intimate conversations about anything related to love, relationships, singlehood, and sex. What y'all think? Listen, I'm excited today. I have a guest coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. It's my girl. She cool. And I'm sure she's going to bring it. Y'all, welcome to the set, Miss Teresa B., also known as Teresa B. How. Hey, love.
Hey.
How you feeling today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm trying to make it all come together.
Yeah, I do understand. I have those same things going on.
life. So what did you think when I reached out to you and said, hey, I need you on my show?
Well, I have a lot of relationship experience, I guess. So I probably was a good candidate.
So can I ask, what is your relationship status now? We can wait. You can say you want to hold. You don't have to tell. At any time you don't want to tell me your business, just say, yep. I'll wait.
I have a person.
You have a person. Having a person is good. Having a person and taking time to know that person, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I call it. I used to call it before. We're just dating, or back in the day, it would be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But now I look at it as the getting to know you stage. So, after every month, I'm like, oh, we're 7 months into our getting to know each other, instead of like putting titles on it. Because I feel that if you're spending time with that person and you're always with that person, do you really need to ask, are you my boyfriend? Are you my girlfriend? Check the box and all that. No,
You do sometimes. You do. You do sometimes, not necessarily put a title on it, but you do sometimes have to ask the question like, wait, what's really going on? Because women, we're really good at assuming something, and a man is really good at performing when he's in your space, and he may not be thinking the same thing. So it's very important to have not necessarily put titles, but have the communication, the open communication, where you guys are both on the same accord and know where you're going. Or know what the goals are.
Yeah. We have the goals, we have the communication, we have all that. It's just we have an understanding.
That's good. That's good.
So
that's good.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. So do you find how would you talk about your previous dating experience?
Oh, it was awful.
Was it awful?
Yeah. It was really bad. I kept
When did you realize it was bad?
Well, I kept meeting the same men in different bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I kept attracting the same types of dudes, the dudes that always needed help, always had an issue, always had their car breakdown, always had, it always turned out after so many dates that they were becoming codependents. Okay. And I kept saying, well, it was always codependent / trauma victims. Yeah. So it's like, They, it's always something that happened. Always somebody did something to them. Always, their childhood, their ex-wife, their this, their that. And it was like I had to suffer for everybody else's mistakes. So I seen it was the same guys with the same MO, just different faces.
So what made you realize that it was time to change?
Well, what I realized about myself, because I'm very intuitive, and I'm some can describe it as a healer, and I like to help people heal. That I do have that quality where I embrace people at their weakest point, and I try to make sure that they're good. Because I work in special education, so being with children with disabilities, you always want to, from their lowest point, you like to see them get to their best or their highest point. And
so you see the potentials in everybody.
Right. So even though they might not be that person for me per se, I would see the potential. Oh, he could really make a good person. He could really make somebody a good husband, blah, 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 blah. And kind of having these little talks in my head. Meanwhile, that person may not have had any ambitions on changing or doing better for themselves, but I saw the potential. And so I would work off the potential and, became Mrs. Fix-It. And so what I realized is, okay, yes, you are a healer. God has given you light. You're the light. But light also attracts darkness. But it doesn't mean that the darkness that you're attracting is somebody you're actually supposed to be in a relationship with. Yeah. It just might be somebody coming into your space that you need to help, push, motivate, whatever. But it doesn't mean he has to be your person.
What's interesting about that? A lot of women need to think about that. A lot of women need to really sit back and think about that, because I think so many of us experience that. Like, because we're kind-hearted, we're nurturers and stuff. We meet someone and we try to look for their best or whatever, and we try to put the bad side on the back burner because we're like, oh, we can look past it and stuff. And we think because we are good people, good people get hurt a lot, but because we're good people that we can save. And yeah, there's so many people that we should leave alone. We should just run from. We could be friends, and sometimes we can't even be friends, because even if they're like that in relationships, a lot of them are like that in friendships too. Wow.
So, excuse me. So I've learned, actually, I've learned through the challenge that you gave me back in September of 2023. You gave me a challenge, and I took you up on that challenge, and I spent 45 days getting to know me and trying to figure out, why do I do these things? Why is it a repetitious cycle with the same kinds of people? And really got spiritual about it, and really identified who I was, why I do these things, and how I need to stop doing these things, and how I can turn the leaf and do something different.
So you realized that you were the problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I was a problem because, I have a bleeding heart.
Right.
So
right.
I can't blame the guy.
Right.
He know he wasn't shiznit when he approached me.
Right.
But I did. And I just saw potential. I wanted to work off his potential, and I wanted to help him. And I wanted to, it'll get better. And after you get a certain age, after patting people on the head and, soothing them, and ain't nobody doing it in return, that had to stop.
What's interesting that you say that, because people they get offended when I say you're the problem. When I say, they get mad, I'm like, and I don't care anymore, because I know I had to tell myself the same thing. You're the problem. And until I fixed me and really start looking things for what they were, I couldn't get my blessings or whatever and stuff. But when I started fixing me and working on me, my blessings were coming in left and right. Good man, money, and all different kinds of things and stuff or whatever. So it's been amazing to watch you, because I remember you at first, I think you thought I was crazy when I told you work on you, and I was like, you got a challenge. No dating, no talking to these men for 45 days. And you did it. You did it. And look at you now.
Yeah. Well, I've been told several times before, pull back, stop dating, do this, but I've never. So I'm a visual learner. I see
Right.
things, you got to show me.
Right.
And when you showed me, hey, this is happening because of you, and you could really do this to change this in order to get this.
Right.
It made sense to me than somebody just saying, hey, why don't you just go somewhere and sit down, or why don't you just chill out? You actually gave like step by step on how not only I could be a better person for myself within that 45 days, but be a better person for my next person.
And not just your next person, your child, your job, and all kinds, your business. Your business has blossomed. You got a total different attitude and everything. Like, you are a new you, and it's amazing,
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I have my days where
we all do.
Yeah, you kind of fall behind. Like, I had a situation. This is a good testimony to tell. I had a situation just the other day. Mm-hmm. It was someone that I work with dealing with my magazine.
Okay.
And they sent me a text like 6:30 a.m. and it was not a positive text.
Okay.
And basically at the end of it, they said, because they didn't like certain things that I'm doing, which is, they ain't got nothing to do with
your magazine. For your magazine, they don't like, and they not really. Okay, go ahead. Anyway.
Yeah. Go figure. And so they made the comment, well, do I need to help you get a graphic designer? Because, I just feel, certain things don't belong in a magazine and da-da-da-da. And I said, I don't need a graphic designer, nor do I need you to judge what I'm doing and how I'm doing with my business. Right. I said, because the last time I checked, God gave the vision to me. He didn't give it to you, and he didn't give it to whoever. He gave it to me. Right. I said, so you cannot come on my platform and tell me. Now, you can give me some suggestions.
Exactly.
You can give
in a respectful way.
In a respectful way. You can give me some critique, but to go page by page and find fault because of what you expect my magazine to be, no, ma'am, we're not doing that. I said, and let me tell you how I feel about the situation. I said, I spent months looking up graphics, going on, YouTube, learning how to do these things because I put my trust in someone who messed me up. Now that I know how to do it, it may not be the greatest right now because I'm a beginner. Right. I said, but I need you to see where I started so that when I become Picasso, you can see where I came from. Right. Quote unquote. I said it just like that. And then their whole attitude changed. It was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I was just trying to be helpful. Da-da. No, you wasn't. You came from a place of malice.
Right. You know what's oh, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. You know what I also tell people is you still have the right to speak up for yourself. You have the right to put people in their place. You have a right. Loving yourself, it just makes your boundaries are even better. And you learn how to put people in their place without cussing them out or going off and everything. You're calm and you're just cool and you're saying how you feel because you become so transparent that it don't matter. In your role, you're never out to get anybody. You're just out to stand for yourself, and that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And good thing. I no longer will be in the space of toxic energy. Yes. Boundaries. Whether it's family, whether it's my children, whoever. If you're bringing toxicity my way, I have to release you. I have to, I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm having a good day. I'm sorry that your day's not going well. But what you're not going to do is bring me down just because you hate the world for today. And so I've been speaking up, because before, I would let you pour that energy on me, then you mess up my day, then we both looking at each other, and then the arguments start. No. You stay over, you stay over there with that negativity. You call me when you feeling better.
Right. And make sure you got respect in that tone.
Exactly. And that's where I am in life. Like, my person, we both do a lot of things together, but, he also travels separately, and I have to travel separately for different things. And if there's ever a time, like say I got tickets or he got tickets to do an event or whatever, and he can't make it, I would say, oh, okay, well, enjoy what you had planned. I'm still going to what I had planned.
Come on. Listen.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me heads up that you can't go, but I am going. Period.
Right.
So, and I always say that when we go do different things, or he'll say, well, make sure I'm off that day or whatever. And I'm like, well, even if you're not off that day, this was the day that this event is happening, and I want to go, so I'm gonna go. You can call me later on.
You know what? I think that's so significant. Like, that's so significant, because women get into relationships, and the relationships are good or whatever, and they lose themselves. They lose their own freedom. They stop doing the things that they want to do because they get so comfortable in these relationships. And I'm like, why do you have to do that? As long as what you're doing is not disrespecting your mate, why can't you continue to do the things that you do? I'm not talking about like party club and all of that all the time, but like, if you like to go to concerts and he don't, go to a concert. You know what I mean? If you like to travel and he don't, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to stop doing it. It means that you guys will have those conversations and make sure everybody understands, and you move on. You know what I mean? Okay. And I think that's what makes relationships good, when people. That's why I say it's so important for people to take time to love themselves and to know themselves. So in any situations, they can stand up for themselves.
Right. Because for 15 years of being married, that was one thing that I allowed to happen. I missed 15 years of things that I wanted to do because I was too busy trying to follow his schedule, or trying to do what he wanted me to do, or waited for him to be available. And I missed out on a lot. So around the time where it was tension and it was, close to divorce, that's when I discovered, if I want to do this and you don't want to do it, okay.
Right.
That's my response to everything. Okay.
I love it.
And so, especially when I started writing books, like, I just started touring by myself. Oh, you don't want to be supportive and you don't want to go to these events? Cool. I'm going. And so I still have that same mindset. And I know when to fall back, because, although men try to pretend like they got it going on or whatever, they don't always have it going on.
Big old babies.
Yeah, they don't always have it going on. So when we have those moments of a man throwing a tantrum, or, he's upset about something, and the whole world gotta, take on his weight of whatever's going on.
Right.
I step back. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can help you with? Right. They say no. Oh, okay. Well, just call me when you're feeling better.
Right. Give you your space.
Right. You're not going to destroy my energy. You're just not.
Right. And I think the more and more you guys are together, and you probably already see it, the more and more you learn each other's ways and everything and stuff. And sometimes it becomes funny, because they realize that them or whatever, and they know what you're going to do, what they're going to do and everything. And it calls for healthiness, because it allows them to be who they are, and you're a safe space, and he's not going to worry about you disrespecting him or making him feel bad or whatever, but you instead are saying, hey, I'm gonna give you your space. I'm here if you need me, but I'm gonna give you your space, and it's okay. And you guys are communicating about that, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
It is. And so I'm learning a lot in my older age, and sometimes I say it's kind of sad that it took all this long for it to click.
It's not.
But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So
you had to go through all of that to truly appreciate where you are in life now. You know what I mean? Like if it would have happened a long time ago, you might not have got the right appreciation. Now you can have it because you know what it looks like on the other side, Yeah. And you are the wow factor. You are your own wow factor. Your wow factor couldn't take his place until you became your own wow factor. And that's what I teach all the time. And it's just so amazing to hear your story because, people think, oh, she just be talking. But I'm like, no, it's a proven. Like, if you really pay attention, it's happening. Like so many of the women that I'm close to or that I've had conversations with or that I know, I'm watching them enter into these relationships at these beautiful butterflies now. They're we all got that little hardness into us. We got that masculine energy. And I think you should have some masculine energy. I'm not one that's all got to be feminine energy for everything. It has to balance out and it needs to take its place when it's supposed to. But I'm watching so many of my loved ones or the ones that I've been connected to enter into these relationships. And it's like real relationships, not the crazy stuff that we all dealt with in the past, the unbalanced, the unequally yoked, we don't know where we stand. We at home crying because we're trying to figure out what's really going on. Now we just like, hey, we here for it all. And if it's no work, bye. Not in a bad way. You know what I mean? Not in a bad way, but you're no longer stressing about this man, this and this man, that. You live in your life and you are giving him what he deserves. And he's giving you what he deserves. I mean, he's giving you what you deserve. And if he's not, the boundaries to say, yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that I preach and I've been saying for the last couple of months, because, people, they go on dating sites or they go to clubs, wherever they go to meet people. Right. I would always say to a man that was challenging me or, trying to make me feel like, whatever. He's if I don't do this, he gonna act like this or whatever. No. So for me, I always tell people, I ain't never had a problem finding a man. I just always had a problem keeping a man because I have choices and I can walk away at any given moment. Don't forget that. I say that all the time. Because
choice constantly have an opportunity to increase change and empower self.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not an ugly girl.
Right.
And I'm not, and you're not about to make me feel ugly because you acting stupid. So my attitude is, you better recognize who I am. Because if you don't, somebody else will.
Right.
It's not hard to meet other men. It's really not hard.
Right.
It's hard to formulate relationships. It's hard to see if that one is for you. But when you're in this industry, it's not hard to meet men.
And you know what? I say that to women, whether they're overweight, whether they're unattractive or whatever. I even tell them that they should have that same attitude. Because if you really focus on yourself and work on yourself, you gonna draw the attention. People ask me, why did you stop matchmaking? Because I realized the key, the answer for real. Like, if I can convince a person, like people will come to me and say, hey, I want you to find me a mate and I want him to be this, 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 this. And my question would always be, well, are you a good mate? And of course, everybody says yes until we go into the sessions and they realize like, oh, shoot, oh, dang, I need to work on some things. And so as we start working on them, some people it's real easy. Some people I could just say, stop dating for 45 days and tap into yourself. Other people, you got to go, especially guys, you got to go through it a little bit more. But I promise you, I have realized the formula is when I have people focus on themselves, by the end of it, I'm hearing them say, hey, I met somebody and I really like this person. So I'm like, what's the point of me going out trying to, when they can do it themselves? I just need to work with them to tap into who they are and operate in their own unique self. And look, so.
And that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. My 45 days was up the first week of October. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like October 5th. I met my person November 11th.
And he just walked into your life unexpectedly.
Just unexpectedly.
He was minding your business.
I was minding my business.
Right.
Like I had been on several dating sites. I had been on, and it excuse me. Just one day it was like he stood out, and I didn't know why. And so it was instant chemistry when we met. So the same way I tried to seek God during my 45 days was the same thing I did when I first met. Hey God, if he is not the one, please remove him out of my life.
Make it obvious.
And that 45 days not only strengthened me as an individual, it also showed me who my real friends was. It also showed me the guys that were around, that they really weren't solid like they said they were. Like, right. Everybody started disappearing.
Right.
There was only a few people standing. Like I had one girlfriend, she said, so tell me, what is this sabbatical supposed to be doing for you? She was highly offended because I told her I couldn't talk to her for 45 days. And it's like, boo, it's not about you.
Right.
It's my journey. Why are you upset?
Right. Amazing. Oh, I love it. I love the fact that you cut everybody. Like, that's the best way to do it. Like, it's so crazy because, I've been doing this, on the side, the love coaching and the life coaching and all of that stuff or whatever. I used to write the Dear Wow Factors letters. I want my wow factor, dear future husband letters and everything and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't really ready inside to have that person. Like I can say that I wasn't. And because of my own fears and I worked so hard to get my freedom. And so when I got it, I didn't want to lose it. And I'm like, if I get that person and I lose my freedom, it's a problem. And I had that in my head. So I would only find guys that I knew that I didn't want to hold on to. I wasn't looking for real love. In my head, I was acting like I was, but I wasn't. And I had to look in the mirror because I'm helping everybody else, but I had to look in the mirror. It's like, girlfriend, what you about to do? And I had to check myself. Girl, when I say those demons came, when I say I got beat up. Like my light skin, I had bruises everywhere. You might not have been able to see them, but they was there. And I had to own up to some stuff. I had to apologize to people. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of writing. And I really had to apologize to myself because I always lived off the basis is I didn't want to be a victim to anything else, but I had become a victim to myself.
Right.
And it was destroying me. And once I released that and decided to change and really start pointing to myself, when I say I was minding my business when mine walked in, minding my business in the most unusual way. And it's just like, wow. And it was all the things that I had been writing about in my letters. So we got to understand, we be manifesting stuff. We really be speaking stuff. It's years, but we be talking and we don't know how serious it is or whatever, because we be in our own world or whatever, especially when we're focused on the magazines, you're a teacher, you're a mom, you got everything, you're writing books, you got so much stuff going for you that you don't really focus on your worth and your value and your uniqueness or whatever and stuff. But when you do, congratulations on, what is it, 6 months? You said how many months?
6 months.
Congratulations to him. I know you're watching. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's 6 months, but it's 6 months of getting to know you.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
I don't look at it as a relationship. I look at it as I'm getting to know you, because I wanted it to be organic. He wanted it to be organic. And
so with that, does that mean that he can see other people and you can see other people?
No. No, ma'am.
So it's a relationship, y'all. But I mean, here I tell everybody, you guys do it the way whatever works for you. You know what I mean? However you want to carry it, but I be laughing at people when we're just getting to know each other. But you'd act a fool if you was to see that man with somebody else. You might not act a fool in public. You'll walk away, but you would be in your feelings.
Oh yeah, vice versa.
Yeah.
But I think it's a situation where his actions are speaking louder than his words.
Mm-hmm. They have to match.
Right.
They have to match.
But there are men out there that have issues with communication,
right,
when it comes to the heart, because of their past.
Do you think that's true? Let me say this. Do you think that that's true, or is it that you're just not the right person for them to be their safe space for them to talk? Because they'll talk to their friends.
Well, in the beginning, when you first meet, everybody got their guard up. The female and the male. At this point, oh yeah, he communicates now. I'm just saying, in the beginning, it was kind of tough because we were both on guard. He don't want to get his heart broke. I don't want to get my heart broke. I don't know where you came from. I don't know how you got here. Right. You kind of have that third eye. You're looking at him at the side like, I don't know about you. But you, as time grew, you go out more with each other. You spend more time. You went from 1 or 2 days seeing each other to every day seeing each other. Then you look around, you're like, hey, this is a whole relationship. And you express it. It doesn't have to be in a oh, you're my girlfriend. He doesn't have, because he shows me who I am in his life. And especially when they're introducing you to friends and family, and when you get to the point where the whole family, that might be a good sign that he like you. For some.
Right.
Yeah, there's some men that will use their families as a crutch.
Exactly. Right.
But the sincerity, and you also know if the family is really excited to meet you, that means they are not missing the eggs. Not missing the eggs at all. They glad she gone. So it's different for everybody.
You mentioned something, and I think you were talking about like in the beginning where you had to get him to open up. But there's a difference between that, getting to know somebody and letting your walls down, than being with someone who don't communicate at all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he had walls. I had walls.
You both had walls, but he still was making an effort, and slowly but surely you was watching. Some people never see the wall comes down. They just think their man don't know how to communicate. No, he just don't know how to communicate with you. It's different in the beginning because we all have walls, and they gotta slowly but surely. They might not ever come down at the same time, but slowly but surely, as you start building your other foundation as one, your separate foundations fade. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. The walls came down. We had a little incident. Went somewhere, traveled. I had to tell you that off screen on the details. But it was kind of hilarious because it was one of those situations where we both was like, why did we go on this trip type situation? But then like that incident made us open up more. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So it was like, I didn't like going through that situation, but that situation was needed in order to get us to where we are now.
I think people think that relationships are supposed to be all perfect and so together and all of that. Things like that is how you grow. You know what I mean? When you go through something that's uncomfortable or unfamiliar and all of that stuff, and you guys are able to be able to talk about it and get through it and move on, those are the things that bring you closer. When people say we argue all the time in the beginning, that's not always a bad thing. That's two people coming together, learning each other.
Mm-hmm.
What you should be worried about is when you have issues and nobody's saying nothing.
Exactly.
When everybody is just going with the flow and nothing's getting solved. That's what you should worry about. But I would rather do it backwards. I would rather know everything up front and let's go through this so then so the honeymoon phase could be our norm. Most people think I'm crazy when I say that, but
that's beautiful.
Let's put it all out on the table. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm. I think there was a lot. There was a lot on the table. I think there was a lot, but the fact that we both still push through it, because normally when you have all that on the table and hey, this is me and this is who I am and this is why I'm this way.
Right.
You know, a lot of people could run away and say, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
But, for the person to go through the motions because they want to make it better, you're just not a holding space, but they really want to get to know you and make things better so they can have a fruitful experience with you. That's totally different.
That's so important. How does it feel to have a man make you a priority and to know a man is all about you and you don't have to second guess?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But I still have some of my quirky ways too.
Okay. That's part of being you. And he knows that. Yeah. Let me change my question. How does it feel to have a man that when you show your ugly side, he still want to be with you?
That's a good feeling.
Listen, I know. I get it because I'm a firecracker. What? I'm a whole 4th of July experience. Okay, so I'm spoiled. I'm an introvert one day, I'm an extrovert one day. So one day I won't be bothered the next. Listen, for someone to love me, like it has to be a special. No, a lot of people love me. For someone to love me and be with me or whatever, all in my space, they gotta be a special person. And
really
to know that person is not just team us, but he's team Tanya. What? Yeah.
And that's what I've been kind of looking for, waiting for. Not just that person that, when they get upset with me, they stop calling and they want to call 2 weeks later. I don't play them silent treatment games. That don't work. Because while you silent, somebody else eyeballing me. So, it might not be good for you to be silent for too long. And I've had experiences where they come back 4 or 5 days later and then be full-fledged conversation like nothing happened. And I'd be like, do you remember when you hung up on me on Sunday? It's Friday. We're going to talk about that?
Boy mentality. That's all that is. A lot of people don't know how to date. A lot of people don't know how to work with somebody else or give somebody something. Like I'm learning. And it's so crazy because he always says, okay, love coach or whatever. It's so funny because in my age, I'm 53 and I was married for 12 years, but I never allowed myself to love a man. Mm-hmm. Even my own husband, I went through the experience of being married or whatever. But before I married my husband, I had an experience and I put a curse on myself. People say they don't have to believe in curses, but the things that come out your mouth, and that person hurt me so bad. And I was like, I will never love a man. I will never love a man the way that I love this person. Keep in mind, I really didn't even love that person, but I put that in the atmosphere and I held on to it until recently. I can honestly say that I feel like This is my first time really understanding and experiencing love, pure love from a man, and giving it to a man freely. Because I'm the wall. I'm the one that's gonna shut it down. Man could give me everything, and I'm the one like, no, you stay over there. You know what I mean? So this is my first time I'm actually being vulnerable and all of that. So it's interesting.
It is interesting. We're the same age.
Yeah.
And like I told you, I was married for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I think I did love my husband to a certain point, but I don't think I was in love with him.
Okay. Yeah.
And first of all, everything had moved so fast. And
right.
Like he proposed after 30 days of knowing me. Like he's from church background, the church, you got all these so-called prophets. Y'all supposed to be together. I find it to be very brainwashing, but whatever. And you believe in this, and then one day you just sit back after years of going through the turmoil, and you're like, this ain't of God. Like, did God talk to me? I forgot that God was supposed to tell me too. You telling everybody but me?
But you. Right.
And it wasn't until I want to say it was the second year of marriage where I had already made a decision the second year of marriage that I'm going to stay long enough until my oldest boy gets out of high school. And then I'll probably be gone if this don't get any better. And it was like tumbling down. But this is a guy, but yeah, we supposed to be together. This man, now he out here trying to cheat and girl,
that's a whole nother show.
A
whole Lord, church marriages. That's a whole nother show. A whole series. We probably could go on for years, but anyways. Wow.
Oh,
you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
One thing I do need to reiterate while we're talking about the church folk. When you get with somebody and both of y'all are in church or have church homes, it is best for you two to find another church where y'all could grow in. You don't stay in that church that he grew up in. He don't need to be in that church that you grew up in, because it'll always be biased. It'll always be, they doted on him, and it's best for you guys to make a decision to find another church home in order for your marriage to be successful.
I like that. Do you want to get married?
Huh?
Do you want to get married again? Or are you okay with a healthy monogamous relationship?
I would like to get married again.
Okay.
But because that one moved so quickly and the decisions were made so quickly, like within less than 5 months we were married because of what church people said, I now want to hear from God myself, yes, he's the one for you.
Okay.
I want to take my time till I get to that place where I can really identify that he's the one for me. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. That's how everybody should move.
Right. So even if we got engaged or something like that, I'm still not going to, because most women, they get the ring and they just ready to start making arrangements. If I get a ring and I'm still not at that place where I feel that he is my
leader.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I still have some getting to know to do. The ring shouldn't be the decision maker.
Right.
And if we get married this year, next year, we're gonna move at a pace where we both feel right at the same time to move forward in matrimony.
I love it. I want to take you back. To, I think it was September. where we recorded another show and everything went wrong for us not to be able to put it up, sound issues and everything. And you were single. And as you were talking, and I was like, it's amazing how things work. And you know me, I'm not going to put something out that's not right. And so it's amazing how things work, because nobody was supposed to see that but me and you. That was a part of a step for your healing. Nobody, if that's what it took for us to come together to have these deep conversations for you to work on you, that's what it took. And look at it now. No one will ever, as a matter of fact, I deleted that video yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I deleted it yesterday or whatever and stuff. So it's like, that shows how amazing that you are, because now all these months later, we can come back and we can talk. You're not on here as a single woman, and you have a different type of man, things that you were speaking against on the other video.
Right.
No, you wasn't speaking on the man that you were speaking against, you no longer deal with. You now have something new. Right. That's amazing. Kind of like keeping a journal.
It is. I wish I could. I wish I could see that video to hear what I said and how I was thinking at that time. Yeah. I know it's totally different than what it was back then. And it's only been 6 months.
Exactly, and that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. Time is time. As long as two people are making an effort to wake up every morning to pour into each other more than they did yesterday and be committed to whatever it is, and even if it doesn't work out, let's respect each other enough to go our separate ways, and still we don't have to be enemies or whatever. We still can have, a bond of respect, because people don't know what respect is, and they say that men want respect and women want love. I think both parties want both things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And men need to, men are taught that, but men want love just as much as women do.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the last video, I was talking to someone. I think I told you about this person too. And he was, we got to take it slow. We got to take it slow. We got to take it slow. But he was saying we had to take it slow because he was talking to other women, trying to, I guess, figure out which one he wanted. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But yet he was still trying to, calling every day, FaceTiming every day, trying to play it off like he was just so into me. And I just felt like, I'm telling you, my intuition be on fleek. I just don't be listening.
You don't operate in it. Right.
Yeah, I'm operating in it now. But back then I was like, okay, so what is this about? He's calling me every day. He's FaceTiming. He want to know what I'm doing. But he don't really want to go out.
Right. He don't want to spend time with you. Right.
He don't want to spend real time. He said he don't go to women's houses. He wants women to come see him. He wants women to make that drive late at night or early morning. Like, what is this?
Right.
And then, I had to come to a realization. He ain't for me. This ain't somebody that really care about my well-being and what I got going on.
Right.
So, but if I didn't purify, I'm gonna say purify my mind. I didn't get all that gook out of my way of thinking, I probably would still been dealing with that food.
Yeah. Most people are in relationships that they shouldn't be in, but hey, that's all they know and they accept it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, because in my mind, it would have been, well, I can fix him.
Of course.
We can work this out, because I can make sure that, I make him feel good about himself and blah, 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 blah.
We as women, we love to treat our men like we treat our sons. Our sons are raised. Most of our sons is raised and good. We don't need to be trying to raise no man.
No, ma'am. And I will not.
Exactly. I don't want you to leave before I give you the opportunity to shout out your businesses, your books, your magazine, and all of that. So tell my audience about what you do.
Okay, so by trade, I am an educator. I've been in education for 19 years, but my passion is writing books. I write Christian fiction. I call it Christian fiction thriller suspense because it's always something that's going to go down in the church. And I also am an owner of 3 magazines, The Heat Seekers, Pod Stars, and The Educator. And I'm fortunate enough that you write for 2 of those. And the Heat Seekers is the big one. That's can be seen in 19 different countries. We get a lot of readers from that particular magazine, and it's also in this point system dealing with airlines. So, like if you have a credit card or whatever, and you have points you want to use, you can use those points to buy the magazine. So I found little nifty ways to kind of circulate and distribute, since there are no more magazine distributions out there like it used to be. So, and I do plays. I've directed a couple of plays when I was living in North Carolina. I turned my trilogy into a play. So I still work on scripts and things like that. And hopefully I can get to the big screen one day. That's my goal. Yeah, that's my goal. I want to accomplish a lot before the end of this year. I know I only got about 6 months to go, but I really want to do that. So if anybody wants to reach me, if they want to be in any of the magazines or they want to come help me with this film that I'm trying to create, on social media, I am listed as the host, Teresa B. And that's on all social media handles. And I also have fan pages for each magazine, The Heat Seekers, The Educator, and Pod Stars.
What's Pod Stars about?
That's for people who have wonderful podcasts like yours.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, but be on the lookout. You might be, the next article we write about, but we try to make sure that people are aware of podcasts that are doing great things. Okay. And I have some great writers for that one as well. But if you, I'm getting a lot of emails from press organizations and things like that, trying to get me to interview some of their people that they, have as their client. So that's pretty good. So, but if somebody's interested in being in the magazine or helping me with the movie, they can contact me at info@teresab.com. That's Teresa without an H.
Well, I thank you. I know you're busy. I know you got stuff to do or whatever. So I appreciate you for taking time to sit down with me and my audience. Know you'll be back because I want to check on you. I'm gonna give you I will have you back like in another 4 months so you can give us an update of what's really going on, and hopefully we can bring him with you.
No.
That sounds like people like, yeah, that sounds like some of my man would say, no, that's your job. I'm back here. I'm not trying. Yeah.
No.
No, we can come back. We do an update with you and you can tell us. You still don't have to tell us who he is. It's just him. It's good. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm learning to keep my relationships out of the spotlight.
Smart.
I did try it. Yeah, I did try it. The last person I dated, and he got the big head and thought he was the superstar and started feeling himself. And no.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? I'm very private about my life. People swear up and down I'm not, but I'm in real life, I'm an introvert and I'm very private. I don't like people in my business. I tell people what I want them to know, and that's it, or whatever. So I talk about my grandsons every so often and all of that. But yeah, I just feel like it's, for some couples it works, especially if you're one of those couples who are influencers together. I think that that's a good thing. I think that works. I mean, but I'm just one that, I'm okay. I'm okay, he all right, or whatever. And, you know, it is what it is. But to each his own.
Yeah. The only way social media will ever see him, they might see an ear or a nose,
Right.
something like that. Right. But to actually see him fully, the only person that social media will ever see me standing next to a man again is if I'm in a wedding dress. And that's the only picture I will show.
I like that. I like that. Go ahead. But thanks again. And I will talk to you soon. Do not go anywhere. I'm going to take you off the screen, but I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Close out. All right. There you have it. An episode of the LoveChologist Talk Show. Listen, y'all. All we doing is talking. We're talking. Love, sex, relationships, singlehood. Every show is different because all my guests are different. And my job is just for them to just feel comfortable and bring out their uniqueness. You know why? Because they probably can inspire one of you guys out there. 1, 2, 3, or whatever. We never know what people are going through. And sometimes other people sharing their stories can help others. And that's why I do what I do. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the LoveChologist Talk Show. Be sure to check out everything that I do at LaTonyaMeChelle.com. The events, the life coach, and the love coaching. You'll find it all. All of it's on my website. Check out my magazines at at LoveChology, LoveChologY.com, and Rulers Mag, RULERSMAG.com, dedicated to Black men. You guys have an amazing day, and I will talk to you real soon. See you next episode. Love, peace, and kisses.
Thank you for joining us today on the LoveChologist Talk Show. We hope you enjoyed our candid discussions and insightful conversations. If you have thoughts to share or a story to tell, don't hesitate to reach out to us at info@LaTonyaMeChelle.com. That's LaTonyaMeChelle.com for a chance to be featured as a guest on our show. For more episodes and exciting content, be sure to visit our website at LaTonyaMeChelle.com. Until next time, remember to love boldly, live authentically, and stay tuned for more enlightening discussions on love and relationships. Until our next installment, love, peace, and kisses.